This is KVUE News Daybreak.
A dangerous robbery. Thieves grabbed several firearms from an Austin gun store, including a fully automatic machine gun. Now police need your help catching these guys, a reward they're offering. Capitol Hill is buzzing this morning following the hearing for Attorney General Jeff Sessions, the one thing he flat out denied during his testimony. And a London high-rise turns into a disaster. A massive fire tears through the entire 27-story apartment building. We're going to hear from those impacted by the tragedy. Good morning and thank you for watching KVUE News Daybreak at 4:30. I'm Yvonne Nava. Let's get a check at what we're tracking this morning with Storm Team meteorologist Erica Lopez.
Good morning, Yvonne. Well, all is quiet as of now. Across our viewing area, no rain shower activity to talk about or in the near forecast also. Lots of low-level moisture bringing in the humidity, though. We are waking up to lots of clouds out there this morning. It's sticky. And some areas actually dew points are close to 80-degree dew points right now. 77 for LaGrange, 74 dew points right now in Austin. It feels a little bit more like southern Florida, possibly, than central Texas this morning. Here's a look at how today's going to play out. Highs in the mid to upper 90s, a couple degrees warmer than yesterday for our forecasted high, but then feel like temperatures well into the triple digits. I'll let you know exactly how warm it's going to feel in the full forecast. Yvonne, back to you.
All right, thank you so much. Well, developing news out of London this morning, flames engulfing a high-rise apartment building. There are a number of fatalities, and as ABC's Molly Hunter tells us, witnesses say almost the entire tower was burning within an hour, leaving very little time for people to get out.
A raging inferno high above London. Overnight, incredible images flooding social media. Flames shooting from an apartment complex.
It's just like a waterfall on the left-hand side of fire and flames, but now it's spread all to the right of the building, that part there.
The fire stretching 27 stories high. Flaming debris raining down on the streets below and ash covering everything for more than 100 yards away. This morning, witnesses saying there were signs of people trapped inside. Makeshift ropes seen hanging from the windows.
Man put a rope of all his handkerchiefs on.
British police now pushing everyone away from the scene due to fears the building may collapse. This man saying he got out of the building after a neighbor banged on his door and woke him up.
There was smoke everywhere. There was people downstairs. There was bits of the block, the cladding falling off the block. People screaming after a couple of minutes because obviously people were still sleeping on the higher floors, so they didn't have a clue what was going on. I'm not even sure if half of them got out, to be honest with you. There was kids at the window. There was people flashing their phone lights just for help.
This morning, as the sun rises, the horrifying extent of the damage is visible. The building completely charred and still smoldering.
Now, this is actually as close as we can get to that building. We're hearing creaks and thuds, even bangs from inside that building. Police down on the ground are screaming, "Get back." The real fear, of course, is that that building will collapse. Molly Hunter, ABC News, London.
4:33 is your time, and President Donald Trump says he is pleased with Attorney General Jeff Sessions' testimony. Yesterday, Sessions testified in front of the Senate Intelligence Committee. He called claims that he colluded with the Russians an appalling and detestable lie. Senators pressed Sessions about a possible meeting with the Russian ambassador, which he denies.
If any brief interaction occurred in passing with the Russian ambassador during that reception, I do not remember. Recently saw a video of him coming into the room.
But you never remember having a conversation or a meeting with Ambassador Kislyak?
I do not.
Sessions also refused to talk about his conversations between himself and President Trump before firing FBI Director James Comey. And there's a new judge in the securities fraud case against Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. Harris County Judge Robert Johnson was randomly assigned to the case yesterday. Paxton's lawyers requested a new judge earlier this year after the trial moved out of Collin County and into Harris County. Paxton is accused of defrauding wealthy investors in a tech startup. An East Austin church pastor is still in jail this morning on $300,000 bond. Ruben Garcia is accused of sexually assaulting a child in Hays County. He is the associate pastor of Iglesia Bautista Betania. New court documents claim he first committed the sexual assault in July of 2013 with a girl under the age of 17 and did so again in July of the following year. Garcia has also been indicted on account of indecency with the child. KVUE asked the Hays County District Attorney why it took years to arrest Garcia.
I can't tell you exactly why it happened in this case, but in child abuse cases, there's often a delay between when the acts occur and when an outcry is made. So quite frequently, child abuse cases are prosecuted years after the events have actually happened.
Well, that's an issue. We contacted Garcia's East Austin church, but no one was available for comment. The University Interscholastic League isn't making any changes to its policies on transgender athletes. Yesterday, the UIL looked at two proposals. One would have specified that the use of testosterone for transitioning students is not a performance-enhancing drug. The other proposal would allow students to compete with the gender they identify with. Advocates say they're disappointed.
No clarity from the UIL. We're basically telling them that we don't want to discuss. There's nothing. We don't want to discuss you being able to participate openly, fairly, and competitively and safely in UIL sports.
The chairman of the athletics committee says one of their biggest concerns is to make sure competition is fair and safe. And right now, the policy says, quote, gender shall be determined based on a student's birth certificate. Illegal immigrants often cross the ranch lands of South Texas in the summer heat, and it's a risk that can be deadly. This as the number of crossers rises for the first time during the Trump administration. Reporter Oscar Margain traveled to one of those ranches and learned it's an area locals call the Valley of Death.
Behind this gate is an 8,600-acre property tucked in somewhere between a highway and a Border Patrol checkpoint in Encino, Texas. Ryan Weatherston, the foreman for Dos Aches Ranch, takes us 5 miles down a dirt road, crossing through a path dozens of undocumented immigrants have traveled.
I mean, this is a hot area.
It's also an area that could easily reach 100-degree temperatures during this time of year. It's when Border Patrol expects illegal crossings to rise, and at the same time, when more people could die.
I've been out here 5 years. In the past 5 years, I found 8 dead people.
Clothing, cell phones, a human skull, a human corpse are just some of the scenes Weatherston has walked into.
Desperate people do desperate things.
Weatherston believes more immigrants choose to cross during the summer because there are fewer eyes. It's low season for hunters and bird watchers, customers who rent this camp house. However, this year things are a bit different. Illegal immigration is down about 70%, and quail birds are sticking around. Reason why former Texas Governor Mark White is here.
You can hear the quail. We've been listening to them all day.
The former governor knows a thing or two about illegal immigration. He believes the country is taking the wrong approach.
It's every attribute that you want to see in a good citizen is revealed to you in those people who have come here.
His empathy grew when he read this note left by 3 teenage women from El Salvador after breaking into the camp house seeking help. The note, written 4 years ago, reads in part, "Excuse us for having come into your ranch, but it was out of necessity because we were lost for 4 days. One of us was pregnant. Had we not arrived here, we wouldn't have been able to call migration. We're sorry. God bless you. We're from El Salvador."
I can't imagine my wife walking through this country being pregnant and, you know, having morning sickness and being sick and it being 104 degrees outside. I mean, that's rough. You know, I'm glad they were able to find this.
These encounters have taught these men to not lock up their doors, but rather to leave them open for the survival of those who will decide to risk it all to make it here, argues the governor.
These people want the same thing that I wanted, my family wanted. They just have to be born there, not here.
In Encino, Texas, Oscar Margain reporting.
Austin police are asking for your help this morning. There's an $11,000 reward for information that can help police find the men who broke into the ATX Armory gun store on Roxy Drive this week. Take a look here at these pictures of the men. They're pretty clear. They stole several firearms, including a fully automatic MP5 machine gun. They left in a 4-door sedan. If you know anything about this case, call police. Austin's favorite summer tradition is back. The second Blues on the Green concert of the summer is tonight at Zilker Park. Grupo Fantasma and Hard Proof are performing. The concert is free and starts at 8 o'clock. And for all those folks that are going to be out and about, I mean, is the weather going to be pretty muggy and steamy this evening? I guess like around 5, 6?
Yeah, it's still going to be quite sticky out there. Our forecasted highs expected to top out in the upper 90s by about 4 or 5 p.m. So a little bit cooler later on this evening, but still on the warm side. Here's a look at what we're waking up to this morning. Mid to upper 70s for the hill country. A warm start for the central counties. Georgetown, just a degree shy of 80 degrees. That's the same story for ABIA, Buda, and San Marcos. Bastrop at 77. Lockhart, you're a degree cooler this morning. Here's a look at the next 12 hours. Your forecasted highs mid to upper 90s, 96 degrees is what we're calling it here in Austin. A partly sunny day, meaning more clouds this afternoon than sun, but heat index values 103 degree feel-like temperatures this afternoon thanks to all the low-level moisture. And another warm and sticky evening will be in store tonight. Let's take a look at one of our KVUE photos of the morning. This is from KVUE's very own Erica Proffer. She was enjoying Graffiti Park yesterday and wanted to share this with you. Just a reminder to fall in love with life. I love that photo. Me and Yvonne were just talking about how we need to make it out to Graffiti Park soon.
I know. I've been dying to just check it out and see how beautiful it is, all the artwork. So we'll do that, Erica, maybe right after daybreak today. Well, today is World Blood Donor Day, and to celebrate NextCare, along with the American Red Cross and America's Blood Centers, they're hosting several blood donations events, and those are today. People are also encouraged to brag about it if you do donate by sharing their stories on social media with the hashtag #GiveInspires. Well, still ahead, changing temperatures are affecting the Hill Country peach crop, while your peaches may not be as sweet this year. And Central Texas school districts growing wildly, how districts plan to stay on track with the influx of students.